keyword is that last thing, and saying it's and the last thing is saying that it is um, it's practical for everybody to jump into. And let me go ahead and let me scroll down just a sec. Go to the next one here. And so the next one that I have here is going to be a little bit more about what it is and what it isn't. So the very first thing here is that we can see that it is a chance to participate. It's a chance to participate, not necessarily a chance to escalate. And so before I go any further, let me do a quick tech check here and just make sure that everybody is hearing me properly. I see we have Amanda over in the chat. Hello, Amanda. Amanda, are you able to hear me and see my screen properly? Let me just make sure that everything is working out there as intended. If you can, just let me know down in the chat or anybody that's just testing. Hi, yes, I can see you. Excellent. Okay, great. All right, well, I am going to keep going here and let's go to the next one. Yes, looking great. Okay, great. Thank y'all. What it is a chance to participate. Again, we will be going through live Q&A, debug, and all that other stuff. It is not a chance here to escalate. So please, things in regards to formal support tickets, production outages, SLA, bound issues. We do not, we want those to be treated completely separately and obviously give you the attention that you need. So we have a couple of options for those of you that might be in that bucket. Obviously, you can submit a support ticket and then we will get somebody to help you with that. So with this session, it's super easy to join. Just drop questions here in the live chat. Doesn't take too much time, and we will get to you in the order in which it was received. The next thing is that all of these recordings are available and they live on the Vonage YouTube channel. Um, they all the previous ones are currently there as well, and also some of the best clips from some of these are going to be extracted out for some of our other users. So if you maybe can't carve out an hour, or maybe you only got 10 minutes, maybe you want to learn a new tip and trick or something like that, you can always go to the YouTube channel in order to do that. And again, urgent issues, please visit the Vonage support portal. Okay, here's the schedule so far. And I've been highlighting these in green just so people knows exactly which ones is the startup sessions and which ones isn't. So here we are, we're on June the 3rd. We are doing our UK time-based session today. So that is why it's at 3 p.m. And so what do we have upcoming here? Well, we have a ton more sessions. We've got more sessions for the US, the UK again, and then we've got our startup session, which will be bringing Autumn back on. And then we'll have an additional session after that. And this is obviously just kind of our V1. There is a couple of more things that we have planned. So sessions at a glance here, it's really just 3 main sections: welcome and housekeeping, which we're done. And then we're going to go to live attendees. And then I've got a quick wrap up slide here. And that just in case you aren't asking any questions, or maybe you don't have any questions, you just want to come and chill with us. I've got a couple of different segments that we will break into if we need to do that. And with that being said, what I'd like to do now is I'd like to play a little short minute and a half video that just tells you a little bit about Vonage and Vonage developer content and offerings and things of that nature that we've got. So let me go ahead and get my screen prepared for that, and we will play this short little video.
Welcome to the Vonage Developer YouTube channel. Vonage developers build and maintain a suite of programmable communications APIs that enable individuals and businesses to embed real-time voice, video, messaging, and authentication features into their applications and workflows. Vonage developers support advanced use cases with network-powered APIs for enhanced security and rich communication services. Just plug in our APIs and let us do the hard work for you. The Vonage developer community is here to help you integrate powerful features into your apps fast. From hands-on tutorials via the Vonage developer blog to rich developer documentation, migration guides, and deep dive video walkthroughs, we make learning communications APIs fun and accessible. Whether you're coding solo or part of a big team, we've got SDKs for every stack: JavaScript, Python, PHP, and more. And if you ever get stuck, our docs, blogs, and global Slack developer community are just one click away. If you need something urgent, we also have 24/7 dedicated support to help you get on your way. So if you're ready to build something amazing, subscribe to stay updated with the latest content. And don't forget to join our Slack to connect with developers worldwide. You bring the ideas, Vonage brings the tools. Whatever you want to build, Vonage does that.
Excellent. And so I hope that video was a little bit helpful. It's a little short video that tells some of our offerings here. So what I'm going to do at this point is that we'll go ahead and we will open up some of our questions to the floor now. So if you do have some questions, feel free to drop them down into the chat below and we will jump into it. Um, so we'll give this just a second. And so first off, we will take a look and we will go with the first question, which is going to be, um, where is the best way to get started with Vonage APIs, and do you have to submit a credit card? Um, the other part of this is can you tell me more about the quick start docs for the different languages? Okay, so let's take a look at this one. This is a nice, easy one to start with. So the home for all of the developer related stuff, it's pretty easy. It can be found right over here at this developer.vonage.com URL. I wish I had my Zoom added right now where I could just zoom straight into this. But this is your landing page that you would want to go to. Now, once you go to this page, and I'll give a little bit more information on this one while I'm waiting for a few more questions to kind of settle in here. While you're into this, there's a couple of things that I like to kind of point out and I like to kind of say. So first off, I am actually already logged in, but there's a login button that's over here. And once you actually get logged in, you're going to see a couple of different things. You'll see your profile where you can go ahead and make additions to your profile here. But the one that you're going to probably pay the most attention to is going to be this one right here, which is going to be called My Dashboard. So let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. One nice thing that you'll notice here is that uh, it does pop that out into another window, which is a lot better because I know a lot of times I've had to go back to the developer.vonage.com. But as that is building out, I will say that while you're on this page, this is a great way to kind of get a bit of an overview of each of the different kind of offerings that we currently have. But one section that I like to always kind of go down to is that there is different types of pre-built projects that you can come in and you can take a look at. So here's a couple of them. You can obviously come over here to view all projects. And if I go to that one, you can see there's a number of different projects that's included in that. I'll just let this finish filling out, finish loading while you can where you can see that properly. It's taking a little bit of time, but really kind of where it gets into is that everything is kind of targeted for you. So here, for example, we can see that no matter which language that you are interested in, you can select that language. And then once you pick on these languages here, you can get content and you can get, you can even set your dashboard up with that programming language. So back over here, for example, in my dashboard, when I first signed up, I added that I was interested in C sharp, for example. So if I come back over here to messages and I go to send a message, give this just a second here, what you'll see is that by default, it automatically loaded the .NET tab here. So it's picking the one that you've already been up and running and you've been working with in the past. So the other few things just to call out is obviously the developer blog that's in here. This is where you can come in and you can get information about all of the different kind of blog posts. So if we go back here, you can see that this loads all of our latest and greatest blog posts. It talks about all of the things that we've been hitting and the things that we've been experimenting with. And then if we scroll down into this, what I like to do is I like to show you that there is always a number of different events that's also happening. So, like you can see, office hours is in here. There's a couple of founders breakfast, which actually today is the third. So, looks like that one is happening. So, it's kind of a little place for me to learn about it as well. So, going back to the original question, which was getting started. So you basically come in here, you create an account. It gives you access to this dashboard here. And if we go to the dashboard, this is what it looks like once you log in. So this is your one-stop place to get all of the information that you would like. So you can do all of the things, such as setting up account notifications and adding team members, to coming in here and adjusting your API keys and secrets, to just trying just a number of different APIs that we currently have available. So, anyways, I think that is a good, super quick introduction to that. You can also come over here. Let's just pretend like we wanted to send a message. Let's go back to the send a message prompt. Again, I know most of you are just trying to get up and started as quickly as possible. So, sending an SMS is probably what some people are going to be wanting to do. And so, you can come in here, and by default, you can take advantage of all of the different options that we kind of already have here. So, again, I'm with .NET. And so, being with .NET, if I'm in Visual Studio, or maybe I'm using a code, Visual Studio Code or something like that, I can install the NuGet package here, which is just called Vonage. Create a file, name this, and then I'm good to go. You can also one also thing just to call out here is that yeah, this is exactly right. Just like as I'm hearing, like you can call all of these with the curl command. So basically, these are like post request. You can send you send it to this a URL right here, and then inside of this, you add in your account key, your API key, and then right here's your API secret. Your API secret and all of that comes back over here from the Vonage APIs, and then go to API secret management. And then, well, for security related purposes, you can't actually see that secret again. So, what you would want to do is create a secret if you don't already know what your existing one is, and then it would void out that previous key that you had there. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Let me go ahead and jump into this next question. This next question is, how does billing work for video? And for that one, why don't we go ahead and bring up Richard and get some of his expertise on that one. Richard, can you tell us a little bit about how billing works for video?
Sure, Michael, no problem. Um, so first of all, we build in a metric that we call participant minutes, and If you actually look on the top left-hand corner of your screen there, you can see that there's a whole bundle of video test minutes included with all new accounts. So you don't have to, you can go through and do a lot of testing with those test minutes. So what will happen is, say for example, we're looking here, we've got running a session like we are. There's two of us, Michael and myself. Um, then every minute that we're online together, that will be 2 participant minutes because there are two of us. Now, Michael is sharing his screen, but that doesn't actually increase the cost because it's still coming from Michael as a participant. So even though there are 3 streams here, you've got Michael, myself, and his screen share, it will still only be 2 participants. So if you have 10 people on a multi-party call, or talking to each other and sharing their video, maybe sharing screens, then every minute that will accrue 10 participant minutes of billing through that. So it's good. There's obviously, you have to be, um, a participant is someone who actively participates in a session. So if you connect to a session, but you don't actually share or receive any media, then you won't be considered as a participant. So only if you're actually actively participating in a session and sending or receiving media, then you'll count as a participant, and every minute that you're on that session will be accrued as a participant minute, which is calculated along the way.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, great. So, if I want to try this out, I can. So, this is a test account in case anybody's wondering why this isn't working. This is an account that I've done a lot of crazy stuff to. So, I'm not surprised. But so, folks can come up right up here to this 100,000 video test minutes. Right here, it will go in and um, it will determine how many minutes we get. Is that what this is? Or no, it says test minutes from date. So this is basically just kind of running a test. Uh, what exactly is this part doing? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I believe that the
Yeah.
test minutes are spread out amongst the different services. So you have
Okay.
minutes for participants, like we were saying with the live call, but we also have things like archive minutes where you are charged a certain amount for every minute of recording that you do when you're recording a stream, or broadcast minutes if you want to send that media off to RTMP and stream to YouTube
Yeah.
or such like. So there are lots of different types of minutes available,
Yeah.
and they're all used depending on what type of service you're using. But the main one is the participant minutes, which is the live session media transfer, and the session we're in now.
Okay. 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 Excellent. So the next one, which is a follow up from that, is how many participants can your platform support for a single video session?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's a good one. Then that's something that's it's not actually a fixed number. It depends on the number of people you have within your session. So if you have a one-to-one call between 2 people, then that's not a problem. But say you want to go to 10 people, you want to go to 20 people, it's going to get bigger and bigger. But it depends how many people are actually going to be sending media into the session. So you may find that there are sort of one or two to many sessions where you'll have one person doing presenting like a teacher and lots and lots of students. So if you have one or two people streaming media, like publishing their microphone and their video and maybe a screen, then you can have up to 15,000 participants within that session. So those are the maximum number of people that can subscribe and watch that media live. And we call that a live interactive broadcast. But then as you increase the number of people that are sharing media to to 5 or 10, then that reduces sort of exponentially because of the number of streams that are being pushed through. And I believe that the maximum limit, if everyone's going to be sending media, so everyone's sending to everyone else at the same time, I believe is something like 55 people in total, if everyone's going to share to everyone else. So you have one or two people sharing to lots of people, or you've got everyone sharing to everyone, and the number of participants that you have kind of gauges the maximum number that you can have. There's a useful document. I can grab that maybe from Michael to put down in the description when we're done, so that we can
Yeah,
you can share that.
absolutely. And like I said, we're going to keep collecting all of these links and then sending these out as well. So if folks get some good links, hopefully you can find some of the things that you want. It brings us to another question that I was starting to get a little bit ahead of, but it was, do we have any sort of migration guides from other platforms? And so I went ahead and I just pulled up this page right here. Maybe I should have walked everybody through it, but let me just do this. So when we all just went to that Vonage developer page, the developer.vonage.com, um, over here was the documentation tab that's up here. And I know those of you that have watched these in the past, I talked a little bit about why these tabs are super important. But if you go to the documentation tab, right here is where you can see all of the different products that we've got. And I've already seen that somebody asked about our CLI. And for those that was wondering about the CLI, yes, we do have a CLI. It's currently available right here. It's actually a completely open source project. So if we come back over here to the Vonage CLI, you'll find that this is just on GitHub. And I will say that, let's see here. Let me go to my command prompt because I don't know if I have this one installed on this machine. Let's try something really quick. We're just going to try something live. So uh, it's kind of got has the format of, let's see, whoops. Let me go back to this one. And okay, so here's all of the different ways that you can kind of get it installed. So PowerShell on Windows, you can run the npm um, command prompt on Windows. It's got the same npm install, and then back over here you can run bash. So you can use npm or Node Package Manager is one of the big ones. Yarn is another one. And from here, you basically can pass it in your API key and secret, and you can do all kinds of things with this. So here is the command list. I know I'm kind of slightly derailing the conversation, but I just thought I'd knock this one out while we're here. So that Vonage that I was just typing in that didn't work, apparently I've got something wrong with Node or haven't installed it properly. But it's like Vonage apps and then the command. So like where you can manage applications, you can do things like check your account balance. And while we're on here, I've also got a, let me go to close that one out. And let me come back over here. I've got a blog post that I wanted to call out, and I'm just trying to find it. Let me take this screen and give this just a second. Sorry about that. Let's move this one over here and let's go to Crump. Um, and so from here, if I go down, um, there was a great blog post that I must say that I created that I thought was pretty helpful. So CLI, and it basically has all of this kind of like in it. So, anyways, I will do some digging on the blog post that I wrote that has a little bit more of that. CLI crop, just so we can move forward with this. So what I was kind of getting there was that you can check out all of these different products. But with the video, I was saying we could go into this video documentation link here. And so at this point, this is that page that we were just at where we talked about the migration stuff. So that's a really good question there. So right here, it says interested in migrating your video solutions from Twilio to Vonage. You can explore our migration guides. Now, I don't know exactly what you're migrating from, but I do know that we've got a great support staff that is happy to help you with that. And I will say that if you do want to, if it is Twilio that you're looking at, you can absolutely go through this Twilio migration guide here, and this will help you with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this one back down into the chat again. I know I'm adding a bunch of random links. Hopefully they all make sense. We'll add some more context in there to that. And with that being said, let's see what else is going on in the chat. And again, feel free to add your questions in. Let's see here. So I do see a question here. It says, I see Samu Samucast as an option in the dashboard. Can you tell me what this is and whether or not I should use it? Okay, so let's see. Richard, can you chime in a bit on that one?
Yes, certainly. Simulcast is an option that you can enable for your video application, and it's a mechanism of making better quality video available to everybody. It solves the problem of the fact that if you've got more than two or three people on a session, everybody has to receive the same video stream, and you can only send video at the highest quality that everybody can receive. So if one person is on a mobile phone on their 4G network and getting bad signal, then everybody would see a slightly lower quality video, and obviously that's not desirable when everyone else is using a laptop with good quality internet. So what Simulcast does is it allows the publisher who's sending video into a video session to send at multiple resolutions at the same time, hence the name Simulcast. And what it will do is it will send, for example, at 720p, and then it will send at half that, and it will send at half that again, and it will do all of those at the same time. So if you have one person who is having problems, then they can uh, get a lower quality video without disrupting the service for everybody else. And I think that's what makes Simulcast a useful feature, is that if you if you have one person that's not able to keep up with the quality as everybody else, then they can receive a lower quality of video. And in other scenarios where this works, is scenarios like this. Imagine, Michael and I are on a call and he's sharing his screen. Um, Michael could be publishing at 720p, but he's only appearing very, very small on my screen. So I don't need to get all of that resolution. I can just request a smaller version without Michael changing anything on his end. So that's where Simulcast really shines, is being able to send multiple versions of the same stream so that it can be, you can then tailor the experience at the subscriber side to the people that are receiving the media. There are a couple of options available in the platform. You either have Simulcast disabled, in which case it will never be used, or you can have it enabled, in which case it will always be used. But the default option for Simulcast is have it doing it in a heuristic way. What that means is that if there are two people on a call, so say it's just again Michael and myself having a one-to-one chat, then Simulcast won't be used because there's no point. If I'm only sending video to one person, I don't need to send multiple resolutions. So Simulcast won't be used. But then if a third person joins the call, then Simulcast will then suddenly kick in, because it then makes a difference when there's more than two people on the call. So those three options will allow you to select.
Excellent, excellent. Yeah, and while I was just in here, I brought up the Vonage Docs AI, which is what um, you might have seen me start using. It's down here where it says Ask AI in the bottom right hand side. And so, anyways, with that, um, I just typed in. I don't even know what did I type in. Uh, well, I don't know, but I think I just typed in the word here or something like that. And anyways, it was able to, kind of spit this out. And what's kind of neat is that, this has access to all the documentation, the SDKs, the tutorials. It also includes the technical blogs in here. So the next question that I'll jump over to is that you mentioned JWT tooling. Where do I find that at? Um, I mentioned it slightly, and what I was saying was that you can come over here to documentation, which is going to be your home, one of the best places to go to. And then if you scroll down, you're going to see the JWT generator. So JWT is JSON web tokens. So if we click on this thing right here, this is for your applications. So I believe that most of the tokens they expire 15 minutes, but with this, obviously you could come in here and you could make this valid um, forever. Which I'm not a big secure. Well, I mean, I don't have a lot of experience with application security, but I'm guessing you probably don't want to make these forever, unless I don't know, maybe it's some sort of test build or something. But you can come in here and you can generate the token any way that you want to. You can come in here and you can, add on, receive push notifications, all this other stuff, and then you'll get a command. Let me just play with it. Oh, I think I've got to fill it all out. Uh, Maybe I can just make up some data here. Yeah, I don't think that will work, but you can recreate it with the Vonage CLI command. So, anyways, it's kind of neat. But this is just one. Yeah, it's an invalid key. But that's just one of the like little tools. And this is why I always keep calling back to this developer.vonage.com page. Is that you can come back over here. You'll get to where the more and more and more you use this, that you just remember what the URLs are. But for those of you that have not been using Vonage, or maybe you're new to Vonage, this is really the place that I always kind of go to. It's the essential resources. So this is fundamental concepts and tools, but it's got a collection of everything. You can jump back to the dashboard, the CLI, which I know is getting lots of love, and I think I'll demo that in the next one. So stay tuned. I think I should do a nice little demo of that one. Postman is another really big thing, and it's probably while we're waiting. Let me double check. I think I'm waiting for a few more questions to come in. While I'm waiting for that, I guess I'll talk about this super quick. But over here, you'll see that we've got the Postman collection here. And so, what's really nice about this is that obviously we all know we've been using Postman as a great way to like test our post, our gets, our puts, our deletes, all of that sort of thing. Well, we have been working with Postman, and so you can come in here over to this side, and as it states right in here, our most well used APIs, you can run them in Postman. So it helps you with like doing things like setting it up, getting it configured. I think adding Postman to one of these sessions might be a really good idea to add in as kind of some more kind of demos. But Postman and Open API, it's got a little bit more about the Open API spec, how to make an API call, and then we have all of this just in our documentation over here, where we can see local docs, Postman collections, and then mocking the server testing with Prism. So hopefully that helps. Also, in Grok comes up all the time from time. I mean, really, it does comes up like all the time. So this is like tunneling. So with this, you would be able to spin up, a test server, and you would be able to get webhook like notifications. So we all use ngrok with a lot of our things. The only thing that I will say right now with ngrok is that you do have to have a paid plan in order to get a domain that doesn't change. Otherwise, every time you use ngrok, and I think they are on the free plan in this, which is the same plan that I'm on, you get a different URL every single time. Yeah, it just looks a little bit different than this right here. Hopefully that helped there. But yeah, the documentation is one of my stops. And then obviously with the SDKs and tools, this is another one that comes up all the time. You may be wondering, since we were just talking about video, which I see we've got another video question, which we'll go to in just a second. But you can come here and you can download the client SDK, or you can download the server SDK, depending on what you need there. But as you can see, we've got all the popular languages. Uh, our languages, typically we get a lot of love for Node.js, JavaScript, PHP, Python. It's all kind of in here. So you can always come over here and you can check these out. And here is the link that I was actually trying to find originally, which I should know where it's at. But this is the CLI, since we had a couple of questions on that. Here is the CLI, and what I'll do is next week I'll do a little bit of prep, and I'll get us a little demo up and going where we can see that in action in the next episode. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and jump over to the next question. Let's see here. Okay, so this one is, does the video API have an option to record? While I may know that one, I know somebody who knows the product way better than I do, and that is Richard. So, Richard, I'll let you chime in and get some information on that.
Yeah, so I think we both know the answer is absolutely yes. You can record any of your sessions through our archiving features, and there are several options that are open to you as well. You have the option to do um, a individual archive, which is a separate individual recording for each stream. So, for example, in this session, we'd have a recording for Michael and one for myself and one for Michael's screen share. And those will be done as separate files and then bound together with like a JSON descriptor of the contents and where they all fit together. And then we have the option of doing a composed archive, which I think is a more popular option, because what we can do is we can have the archive composer lay out all of the video streams that we have during the session onto a single into a single file. So it can have Michael and I laid out with the screen share made large like it is on screen now, uh, um, and you can even create sort of custom layouts using a subset of CSS commands to lay out the video in any way that you want to lay it out. So if you want to do picture in picture, or you want to do a squared layout with everyone matching the same size, you can do all of these things with archiving. And then when we're all done, the archives are then available for you to download from our platform. And we also have a really neat feature where we can take those archive files once they're completed and upload them to your own S3 storage server, for example. So if you've got a storage server on S3 or Azure, you can go through and it will automatically upload them to your file server using your details as soon as it's done. So you haven't got to worry about downloading it and then uploading it to your own storage. We can handle that for you once the file is completed and composed and ready to go.
Excellent. Yes, 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 yes. And I was just pulling this up as you were going through it, going back to all that customization. Over here in the customization section here, um, as I have been going to events and things like that, this topic comes up a lot. That's why I'm not surprised that this is another question. With anything like customization based, yeah, you can do all kinds of things with this. So, like applying background blurs or black background, I can't talk today, replacement filters, all of these are on here. This is one that I hear all the time is the noise suppression. Obviously, we all know um, there can be pops in the microphones. There can be different quality microphones that people buys, and things of that nature. Or maybe there might be some sort of hissing sound or something that's coming out, or that's in the
or dogs barking in the background, these sorts of things. Yeah.
Yes, all kinds of things. So there is these advanced noise suppression filters, and yeah, I know that there's also these Vonage media processors, but I'm definitely not the one to give much input on this because I haven't personally had to use this yet. But I'm sure that there's some great things in there. But like screen sharing was also on here, moderation, debugging, AI connectors, which always seems to be an interesting point here. Building a custom app, and here's actually a little customization. I believe one of our advocates, Dwayne, has been had worked on maybe not this, but has been working on lots of video related stuff. And so, yeah, this is kind of neat because this is a little bit of a tutorial that you can set here and you can walk through. And by the way, there's lots more stuff coming out soon. This is with Kotlin. Um, Kotlin, I haven't done too much with that, but still very, very interesting. So let's see what else that we've got here. So how can I control who has access to a session and what can they do within that session? Richard, you have some input on that one?
Yes, I think we're talking about the Vonage video sessions. So if you consider a video session to be, each session is like a room. You can walk into that room and out of that room. The room is persistent, but the number of people that are in it, you can come out of the room, go back into the room. Um, but anyone that wants to enter that room to be able to see and hear anything that's going on in that session will need to have a token. And so the video API servers will allow you to generate a token, which you can then use from your server platform using our server SDKs to then send that token out to the participants through your own web platform. And each token can be given a role or a set of roles that you can use to then allow certain people to do certain things. For example, some people will be able to publish media onto a session, but other people will only be able to watch it. Let's take that scenario we talked about with a 15,000 participants and two people on stage. Um, in that scenario, you don't want 15,000 people being allowed to just send video into that session because that could be dangerous. And so, you need to be able to say that, those people, they can see media, but they can't send
Yeah.
media. And in the same way that you can say some people can start or stop an archive, or some people can start or stop a broadcast, and these sorts of things. So when you're creating a token, give that token a set of roles that you want people to be able to do, and then they can join the session with that token, and then all of that information that you need is there and interpreted by the platform, and they won't allow them to do anything more than the roles and the permissions you've given them within that token.
Excellent, excellent. And the next one here is about do we have any reference apps? So if we go back to, let me go right back into Video API, and then let's go right here to this one, Video API reference app. So right here is some of the apps. So these are reference apps that are production grade, sample experiences that shows how to shape or how to create meetings with the video API. They pair polished front ends with automation, testing, and so forth. So down here, it looks like, to answer your question, um, there is a web version here that uses React and Vite. So let's go over here to the GitHub repository. So I love the thing about these is that I kind of get to learn as we go as well. So Vonage Video React App. And if we scroll down into this one right here, we can see right here is that application. I'm going to drop this one in the chat as another resource. And then if I go back to where I just came from, let's see, let me go back to here. You'll see that there is Android, so Kotlin. This is also in another GitHub repo. And then finally, there's another one here that is iOS, and this is using Swift architecture. Since I guess Objective C, nobody's using that anymore. Did you ever write any Objective C, Richard?
Yes, but it's so long ago I can't remember any of it.
I did too. I actually made a couple of iOS applications back in the day. I made an Apple Watch application back in the day. So, anyways, there was a couple of more, but I think those are the ones. So maybe you want to check out this page right here and see what you've got, or see what we've got, and see if that helps you with that. So I tell you what, I think we'll go ahead and take maybe one more question here. And then after that, we'll do a little bit of a wrap up, and we'll let you head on your way. So the next question is, this is a good one. It is, what is the difference between composed and individual archiving for video? Richard, can you take that one?
Okay, I think I already touched on that in the previous answer. So in individual archiving, you get a separate file for each of your
Oh, okay. Yeah,
streams,
yeah.
and the in the composed archiving, we run our composer in between the media and the archiving server itself, which arranges all of your video for you into a single file, which is an MP4.
Awesome. Okay, just to make sure we get 100% of everything asked, the last one is going to be, what's the maximum resolution that we can support on our platform?
Okay, so we can support 1080p for camera streams. So
Okay.
if you're looking to get a high quality camera feeds, then you can do full HD 1080p streaming. You can, it is possible to get to some slightly higher resolutions when doing screen sharing, because quite a lot of monitors now they have a higher resolution than that. So we do see some customers that are using slightly higher resolutions when doing screen sharing, but the maximum resolution for video is 1080p at present.
That is awesome, and that is good to hear. And by the way, this video that I'm sending out's only 720p, and I think it looks pretty good. But I'm trying to keep the resources really low for the internet, because I would like for my pages to be really responsive during my webinars. Okay, well, I want to say first off, quick thanks to Richard for jumping on these calls and taking time out of his day for that. Just a few quick things before we wrap up here. Um, Again, if you have a question, you want to share what you're building, there's a couple of different things that you can go to. One of them is, please check out the Vonage developer newsletter. I thought I should just show one of these in one of these sessions, and maybe I'll do that in the next, just walk through the latest issue. But it has everything from events to our content to new videos. It's the easiest way to keep up to date. If you're like, I want to check in once a month type of person, which that's acceptable because everybody's busy as developers, you can get that email, you can see what we've got, and you can go from there. And then for socials, yes, all of the normal social areas, Twitter, X, YouTube is where we're streaming this on. And then we also have a LinkedIn developer page that you can check out, and you can see all of this, all of the cool stuff that we're doing with that. But again, feel free to join in at at any time. We're going to have more of these sessions. You can always go back and look at the slide that I showed which sessions are next. But the next one is going to be next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And so we will see you on there. So yeah, y'all go take advantage of those free credits for the video API. That's very generous. There's a lot of free minutes there. So check that out. And with that being said, appreciate you for joining, and I will see you on the next one. See y'all later. Bye bye.
Yeah.